I don't understand how Christians who know the Bible and know the platforms of both parties support the Democrats anymore. I do not understand it. Please explain it to me.
My question is, can you truly be a Christian and support the ideologies of the left wing of America?
Okay.
Sorry.
I think we're about out of time.
I'm not trying to be divisive here.
There are certainly some things that Christians can disagree over politically. And it's true that no party has everything right. Okay? We can agree on that, right?
Yes.
When Jesus was going after the politicians, who were the politicians of his day? The Pharisees. Some of them were on the Sanhedrin. In Matthew 23:23, he says to them, "You've neglected the more important matters of the law. You're tithing your spices, but you're neglecting the more important matters of the law, justice and faithfulness. You should have practiced the former without neglecting the latter." In other words, you should have tithed your spices, but you shouldn't have neglected the big things. What is the first right all of us have as human beings? The right to life. The right to life is the right to all other rights. If you don't have life, you don't have anything. So any political party that does not support the right to life, at least better than the other political party, or let me put it another way, if one party completely neglects the right to life for the unborn, and the other party tries to protect, even though not completely, the right to life for the unborn, if you're not neglecting the more important matters of the law, who are you going to have to support? You're going to have to support the party that wants to save as many babies as possible. Okay? I don't understand how Christians who know the Bible and know the platforms of both parties support the Democrats anymore. I do not understand it. Please explain it to me. Because we've gone from merely allowing abortion in the Democratic platform to now paying for it, all the way up to the moment of birth. How does anybody support this? You say, oh, well, Trump has nasty tweets. Yeah, he does. Trump's a narcissist. Okay. I get it. But when you weigh everything out, as much as you might have to hold your nose to vote a certain way, you realize that there is no way I can support the butchery or the mutilation of the genitalia of children, which is another issue that shouldn't be a debate among Christians. How can you support that? You know, Charlie and I did a event at a church in Tucson just before the election. And, you know, politics are messy. You don't get everything you want. You just don't, right? And at one point, I had a question, and I said, look, I understand you don't like President Trump. I get that, okay? He's not my favorite personality either, all right? But you need to remember that when you're voting for president, you're not voting for one person. You're voting for 5,000 people to go to Washington and implement an agenda. Implement a platform. And you need to look at that agenda. You need to look at that platform and say, which is the closest to Christian values? Are you going to get everything? No. But are you going to get the most important things? By the way, what is the number one responsibility of government? To protect innocent people from evil. That's what Romans 13 is all about. Protect innocent people from evil. If you're not doing that, you're an illegitimate government. And what did the Biden administration do? They opened the borders. And they allowed sex traffickers. You know we have 300,000 missing girls in America who we presume are now sex trafficked? Do you know I was talking to a guy that works in the National Security Division or for the National Security Advisor, which is Marco Rubio, and this is unclassified, so I met this guy standing under Air Force 2 a couple of weeks ago when J.D. Vance came to take Charlie's body back to Phoenix. And we got talking, and I said, what's keeping you up at night? he said that there are cells all over America that are trying to coordinate an attack in major cities, and the terrorists are going to disguise themselves as paramedics or as police officers. This is unclassified. Why are they in the country? Thank you, Joe Biden. If you're not protecting innocent people from evil, you're not doing your job. And so, do I like everything about the Republican Party? No. In fact, I'm not a Republican, I'm a Christian.
Yeah, amen.
And if 20 years from now the Democrats have a better platform than the Republicans, I'm voting Democrat. I don't care what the label is. I'm looking to protect innocent people from evil. That's the role of government. But when the government starts doing evil, sorry, you guys over here are the Democrats because you're on my left. I'm sorry, okay? When the government starts doing evil, that's when you need to say, I cannot support this at all. I got to find an alternative.